Contract was in Toronto. One of my guys, my name is Marvin again. In case you didn't hear it the first time. All right, so I'm gonna kind of fast forward. So there's like a four step system that I use, right, for clients that I see in Facebook Marketplace, in Zillow, like I mentioned, social media, or anything like that. All right. Why this question? So let's just say we're gonna do a lot of role playing here. Okay, so I'm gonna start picking and choosing out a few people. So let's just say somebody inquired in the Facebook Marketplace that, or in Zillow, that they're looking for a certain property, right? So when they give you a call, usually, I'm sorry, Mary, let's say they give you a call. I'm picking you. So let's say they call you today. How would you build value? How would you compare to use you as a realtor when there's like 30,000 other realtors? So I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, you have to convince me. Good. So I'm gonna give you, you're gonna give me a call. I inquired. You got my phone number. You're calling me, and start something.
Is there any more room? Let me bring it. Yeah.
You can come sit.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, Marvin. My name is Marvin Ordonez. I'm a real estate agent with Lifestyle International Real. You don't mind, I can provide you with the phone numbers or the letters that I use to qualify, so that way you know exactly what you're looking for. And the price range that you can qualify for. If you don't mind, I will go ahead and provide you that information. That was something that needs to be done first in order to be able to start looking for properties.
Perfect. Okay. So can I just get some house tomorrow?
Sure. I'm still gonna show tomorrow.
Okay. I'll see you there for tomorrow. All right. So. You, I'm Juan.
Yes, sir.
So I inquired you about the property, okay? And let's say you had a homestead house listed in the Facebook Marketplace, and I'm calling you for it. And I give you my phone number, so you call me. Okay?
Okay.
Hey, how are you?
¿No vas a grabar esto?
Sí, lo estamos grabando.
Ah, perfecto. Yo lo veo entonces después.
Okay.
Gracias.
Si quieres, ¿le puedo poner una silla?
No, es que veo que mucha gente.
So, okay.
Eso no.
Sí, sí, sí. Tienen COVID, cuidado con eso. Okay, so Hugo, you're gonna come.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how you doing? This is Hugo with Lifestyle. Marvin.
Yes, this is me.
Hey, thank you, Marvin, for actually, giving me opportunity to, give you information about my listing.
Okay.
It's a beautiful house, so let me just actually, I would like to ask you some questions.
Okay.
To see if the property is the right fit.
Okay.
For you. You saw that the value is 470,000.
Yes.
The way I do work, because I respect your time, you know, and I respect my time as well. I work with qualified buyers, you know, people that are motivated and that are ready to buy. So do you have already a pre-approval? Because I have PRNG, which is
Yeah.
from where?
From the bank, Chase.
From the bank Chase. Those traditional banks sometimes are, you know, those approvals are good. But if you don't mind, you know, like you can have a second option, a second look, a PRNG. They are more flexible.
Okay.
They are there 24/7 on the weekends, and perhaps we can get you something better with a better APR.
No, my cousin's branch manager at Chase. He gives me a good interest rate.
Okay, no problem. So you know, I think we're ready. When would you like to come? Tomorrow. Okay. What time is good for you?
5.
5 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. I will be there. I would recommend you if you know, bring your house and kids. To me, that's always important because you know, family is number one to me. So you know, so that you can see and get the opinion from your wife.
Is there any
And,
people there?
excuse me.
Is there people there?
Yes. I have a pool also. I have a tennis court on the side.
No, pool, like food.
Oh, I apologize. What do you like? Churrasco? What do you like? Carne asada? I don't even know. Thank you, Marvin. Hey, but listen, I want to thank you. I'm grateful you gave me the opportunity. And tomorrow, you know, we'll do the best for you, man.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Of course, absolutely. I don't know how I did that. I just thought.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Good, as long as I'm being late. So you posted in the Facebook Marketplace, you posted a listing, whatever listing you just make up, and I gave you my phone number. Now I'm gonna call you. I want you to build value. Why am I gonna use you as my realtor? 2 minutes. So yeah.
2 minutes?
Hey, don't worry. You better be shy with me than actually a client calling you today and you're gonna be shy. So. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
What is your name?
I'm calling you listening.
That would be someone else, please. Should we last?
I'm looking for efficiency.
I'm looking for another realtor. No.
I have the wrong realtor, I'm sorry.
No, it's not the right realtor. Anytime, I'm here for you, baby.
There you go. I wanna pick on Wendy's now. So Wendy, post in the Facebook Marketplace or wherever you got the lead from, and then now you're just gonna tell
So
me.
you're calling me?
You're calling me.
Okay.
Ready? 5, 4, 3.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, are you Marvin?
Yeah, it's me.
Hi, Marvin. I see that you inquired about a property in Hialeah. Do you have any other information and do you have any questions about this property?
No, everything looks fine. I actually like it by the pictures.
Okay, awesome, great. Are you working with a realtor at the moment, Marvin?
No, I'm not.
Okay, great to hear. Are you ready to be approved? Are you ready to go at the moment? Are you pre-approved, ready to buy?
What is that?
Do you already qualify to buy the property? Have you seen yourself with a lender?
Oh, no, I have not.
Okay, I can show you this property tomorrow with no problem, and then I can talk to you tomorrow about the process of getting pre-approved. I can refer you to a preferred lender that I work with, and we'll talk about it then tomorrow.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I do. I got a little nervous, but
No, that's
I
fine.
know-
That's good. That's
That's
good.
great. You did good.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I
Okay.
deal with other realtors. I have my own lead from realtor.com.
Great. Look, so, okay, so why is this a golden question? This is a golden question.
Lo mismo.
That's gonna be the base of everything. Because once you, I always say this, it's like a game of chess. All right, you always wanna be in a nice move. You always wanna lead the conversation to where you're going. So in order to start leading the conversation, is gonna start from here. You're not gonna start, hey, this is my property. You're gonna start normal. You're gonna start, hey, how are you? My name is. kind of, and you're gonna see where I'm going with this. So what's the main objective? The main objective is to find out if you've been pre-approved, right? Or let's say you're doing a rental. Your main objective is to see, or you have good credit. So let me ask you something. If I call you and then you automatically ask me, hey, how's your credit? How's that sound? Aggressive? Hey, have you been pre-approved? How's that sound? Do you feel like you're asking me, like, it's kind of like
Yeah.
like you only care like if I've been pre-approved or not, you know? So the objective is to see if they're pre-approved, but there's different ways. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Right, so that's the key. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I'm gonna ask for the same, I'm gonna ask them to see if they're pre-approved, but it's just in a different way. Okay? So now I'm gonna call you. Sure. So I'm gonna call her, and then cause she kind of knows the system. Ready? So now she's gonna call me, and then you're gonna call us. So what she's gonna do, she's gonna demonstrate, she's good because she's from Modern Orleans, so just so you know.
I might mess up.
That's the next group.
We all do.
So now the objective is, always introduce yourself, then you want to ask if this is the first time purchasing a house, and then you want to find out if they're being pre-approved, right? Then you want to build value. You want to build value for you to enganche. This a value to me is like, what do you say to hook them, right? And then right here is to educate them, because believe it or not, a lot of people don't know the process of purchasing a house. And even if they did buy a house in 2007, 2006, it's not the same as now. And then the last but important is you gotta make an appointment. You cannot have them on the phone and say, yo, I'm looking for a homestead property, and you send them a list without you having an appointment. Okay, come to my office and I'll show you the property we have available. Okay, perfect. So she come on.
Just opening a chair for her.
Oh. All right, you guys ready?
Are you calling me?
You're calling me.
Oh, okay. Hi, is this Marvin?
Yeah, it's me.
Hey, Marvin, this is Amira with Lifestyle Realty. How are you?
I'm good, yourself?
Good, good. I received a notification that you're inquiring about this property that I have listed.
Yes, yes.
Cool, cool. Perfect, Marvin. Question, is this your first time buying a property?
Yes.
Okay, do you know more or less the process of buying a property?
I do.
You do? Okay, perfect. So just in case, I always like to go over with my clients, and always let you know more or less the process. The first step is meeting with the lender. Okay. I always suggest meeting with a few lenders so you can compare rates, see what they're offering you. Okay. Is that something that you've already met with somebody or
Yeah,
not
I
yet?
have a beautiful.
Perfect. Okay, so what I do suggest too is you compare. Sometimes what people don't know that they're getting charged points by those lenders to bring down their interest rate.
Okay.
Depending on your scenario, your financial situation, sometimes it's worth it. But if it's not the case, then you're getting charged more in your closing costs just to bring you down at a lower interest rate. Okay. So if that's cool, we can definitely get together and I can help you review all of them, because it might be a lot of information for you to review on your own. As since I have the experience, I know more or less what we're looking at. Okay.
2 minutes. No, that was good.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna go over it. So you guys, trust me, guys. You say this all the time. 9 out of 10, you're gonna get the client. I'm telling you. My assistant always tells me, "Why do you always go and you always get the client? Every time you send somebody else, they don't get it." And I started noticing is what I say is not what is how I say it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give somebody a call. Who wants to come? You come? Yeah. Oh, I'm calling you. I'm sorry. Hey Frank, how are you? How you doing?
Hey,
My name is Marvin. I'm agent with license. So you inquired about the property I have here in Kendall.
yes.
Awesome. So let me ask you a question, Frank. Is this your first time purchasing a home?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Do you know more or less the process?
Kind of, but not
You
really.
should. This is in order. Okay, so is it the first time purchasing a house?
Yes.
Oh, more or less, do you know the process? This is a follow-up question. Do you more or less know the process?
Kind of.
Kind of. So there's only two answers. When I ask them, is this your first time purchasing a house? There's only two answers there, yes or no. So write it, like literally like a sequence, yes or no, right? So you said, is the first time purchasing a house? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. They don't know. Okay, first, everything else? Yes. Okay, okay, now the following question is, okay, do you more or less know the process? There's another thing, either a yes or no, it can only go two ways. So I'm leading the conversation where I know it's gonna either end up in this way, or yes, or no. So if they tell me yes, I already have the objection or the answer to that. And they tell me no, I already have the objection or the answer to that, right? So in this case, you said, do you know more or less the process?
No. I'll
No.
give it
Perfect. You would like for me to explain more or less, you have an idea, so you know what to expect, when you're purchasing a house?
Sure.
Perfect. So that was the other question. Would you like me to explain so you more or less have an idea of what to expect when you're purchasing a house, right? Now, this is where I hook up. So look, the first step is the most important part is, before we go out seeing the property, fall in love with a house, we sit down with few, I always recommend my clients to go with at least 3 lenders. Why? Frank, let me ask you a question. This is the $1 million question. This is the hook. Frank, let me ask you a question. If you go to 3 banks and one of them is charging you 4%, the other one is charging you 2.5%, and one of them is charging you 3%, who are you gonna go with? 3%. Correct. That's mainly the answers I usually get from my clients. But what they don't know is that the person that's charging you 3% is charging you 1% of the loan. Like if the property costs $300,000, you're paying $3,000 more to get your closing costs at 3%. So what I help you do is right there, I'm already building value, right? So what I help you do is once you get pre-approved from the 3 lenders, I can refer you as many as you want. Or if you have an uncle, Theo, cousin, whoever, go to them. But if you, like I said, if you don't have anyone, I can refer to you. I highly suggest you don't go to any commercial banks like Chase, West Fargo, SunTrust, because they don't specialize in mortgages, they specialize in different types of loans, like car loans or like business loans, stuff like that. So once you have those 3 pre-approvals, you come to my office. I'm already bringing you in. Okay, I'm bringing you in. I'm already like rating you. Okay, you come to my office, and we'll review them together to see who's giving you the best interest rate and who's charging you and who's not. Okay, and then I'll help you negotiate with the 3 lenders how to get a free appraisal. And it's funny because it's true. All my lenders, I was like, bro, why are your clients always asking for free appraisal? I don't know. And I always tell them, like, hey, don't say that I mentioned this to you, because I'm with them for 30, 45 days, and I'm not working like I have to be best friends with them. So if you tell them that I'm telling you this, like, they're losing money out of their own pocket for helping you. But at the end of the day, I don't work for a lender, I work for yourself. Right? So right there, you're hooking them. Right? So right there.
Well, what about the clients that say, oh, I don't want to do 3 of them, I don't want to get seen by another lender because my credit is gonna go down?
Perfect. So you have 14 days to run your credit with as many lenders as you want. It's not gonna go down.
Okay.
14 days over?
14 days?
Yeah.
So they're gonna charge you only one,
Only one
it's only
inquiry.
gonna go
One
down,
inquiry.
so you can just.
Okay.
Yeah, one inquiry. And then they're gonna tell you why. Like, oh, 'cause it's not fair for I think it's called the credit. It's a fair housing credit that is not gonna allow you to have have your best credit, and then when you start applying to other people, they're gonna have like that lower credit.
Okay.
Is there a maximum that you can do in those 14 days?
No, this is 20.
Marvin, well, you mentioned 14 days, but what about if I got my approval 30 days back? Well, that would be another requirement.
It's still, you're still gonna save more money. When you care about inquiry, I'm still gonna save. I'm gonna figure out who's gonna save more money.
Okay.
And then the day you rather have an inquiry, that's an extra 5 or 1% more, and 30 years, that's like $500, $100. They're gonna do it.
So that's the response. It
That's
doesn't
the
matter.
response.
It's gonna be saving
I'm
more.
trying to save you money.
Okay.
So you don't know if it's a good rate or a bad rate because you don't have anything to compare with.
How much would those increases affect the
2
person?
points, 2-3 points.
And
So it's worth 2-3 points less than saving $100 because that's 30 years of 1%. 1% of a $300 house, that's 3 times 30, that's $90 saving a year.
what did you say about the reappraisal?
Okay, so usually when I have all 3 or at least 2 pre-approvals from different lenders, I tell them, I'm like, hey, look, so now I want you to call this lender and telling him that, let's just say they go with PRNG and let's say they go with ANS or whatever ANS is. I'm like, hey, look, call PRNG and tell them that ANS is giving you a credit for an appraisal, ask them if they're willing to match that. And then, okay, look, call ANS and tell them that PRNG is giving you a credit, see if they're willing to match that. And then they're gonna tell you yeah. They're gonna tell you yeah. And then you get it for free. So remember, the whole thing, my main objective is to save my clients money. I don't care about getting a lender richer or title. Like, my priority is my client. And they feel that right there, like this guy saving me money, he's educating me, like what else. A lot of my clients, they never go anybody else.
And something that I mentioned, you haven't mentioned value or cost or nothing. You like,
yeah, because what happens? A lot of agents that I know, and especially they're brand new, they'll wait for them to build values to give up their commission. And it's funny. Some lady told me that the other day. She was like, "Oh, but I have this agent that's willing to give me $1,000 for my closing costs." I'm like, you know what's funny? It's true. Usually, typically, that comes from a new agent. And guess what? I have this agent. She's actually one of my agents that she was giving $1,000. But guess what? Since she didn't really know the contracts as well, now her $10,000 she had an escrow now in jeopardy. So you're willing to jeopardize the $1,000 for 10? So you know, it's just educating them. I've learned that my main value back then was to give commission away too. That's why I started. And I feel like that's how everyone started. So I'm trying to save everybody money by building the value. Because if you could compare them to this, you can already feel value.
Yeah, if you're doing your, you don't want to take your money.
Exactly. I'm helping you save. Like, why are you gonna take my money when I'm helping you save money? You know. So that's why I'm trying to fix it. That's what I used to say. I'm like, you know what? How can I have my clients save the $1,000 I used to give before? And then I started. What I did was, you guys all should do is find out how a lender works, find out their fees, how they get paid. I'm just like that. I need to know the whole business. I need to know how the title company works. I need to know their standard fees, their fees. I read the whole thing, and I just read remember, you're always gonna see what an appraiser, what a lender, what a title company, what a inspection company. I need to study everything, right? Because you're gonna be able to know, okay, this is how I'm able to negotiate with my client here. This is how I'm able to negotiate with my client there. Right? If you don't know how the world of lending works, you just don't know how to even try to get these credits for free.
And so real quick, I just learned recently also with I guess the mortgage pre-approval process. Like I had a client tell me one time my credit's 730, and having 730, and then I went to the lender and said, "How can you tell me that the guy is 690?" Because well, there's consumer credit and mortgage credit. There's two different ones.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. It's
so that's when
you have
asked me that,
for
now I know.
Credit card, for for mobile, for cars,
yeah,
and for houses, 3 different credits.
Right.
All right. So,
Mark.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
No.
So when you get as much information as possible with a lender, title company, you just go to the website and read it, or you actually call them and ask them?
No, I sit down with lenders one-on-one.
Oh, so you sit down just on your own?
On my own. I literally sat down with first lender. Remember, I was a brand new agent, and
right.
She was talking. I literally grasped like 2 minutes of everything. Everything else was like, she was just talking. I was just looking at her. I'm like, that just sounds like Chinese to me right now. Like, that's Chinese. So, and then I sat with the second lender, and then I heard kind of what the first one was heard. And then every time I said what I said, at least with like 30, 40 lenders. I'm like,
so you let them know I'm a new agent, so I want to learn and possibly use.
No, you want to build value. Like how you provide value to. Remember, at the end of the day, you want to provide value to whoever you meet.
Okay.
You don't want to waste anybody's time. So the way I approached them was like, hey, what's your name? What's your name?
Martin.
Oh, Martin. I forget your name. Martin. Hey, Martin, how are you? Look, I'm a brand new agent. I'm looking for, I have a lot of buyers, that I want to get a good lender, and I want to be able to meet you. So maybe, we could work together. I heard highly about you, stuff like that. Like, I'm making you feel great. You're going to take your time to teach me. So if I tell you, hey, I'm just trying to learn, like who's going to want to waste their time?
Right.
Or feel like they're wasting time, So what value are you bringing to the person? What value are you bringing to the buyer? What value are you bringing to wherever the person is in the website? So now we're already in the value part. So you already explained the 4 points, the points. You want to explain the points to your client, right? Yes? Yeah? Okay, so you explain the point thing. Then, once you explain the whole point thing, then the next things come is, okay, perfect. Then you educate them. You want to tell them the whole process of buying a house. Whether they bought a house or not, you still explain to them. So, okay, so now I explain the whole process. And then when I ask you, have you ever bought a house before? You're going to have to tell me yes or no, right? So if you tell me yes, what will you say? Okay, so if I ask you, hey, have you ever purchased a property before? And I tell you yes, what's your following question?
Are you planning to sell?
I mean, you could say that, but you could say that after. But I'm saying what I just explained right now.
Oh my God.
No,
understanding that. That's amazing. So you already know more or less the process. But again, if you need any help, I can definitely guide you. When are you ready to take a look at two properties, or let's sit down, let's have some coffee, talk about what you're looking for. So how's your cousin?
Great.
Doing good? Not doing real estate anymore?
That's good. That's good. So that was great. That was great. No, that was great. That was great. But what you want to say is when you say yes, you're like, okay, perfect. So what do you know about the process? Dig, because then they're like, in 2007, I just remember in 2007, you didn't have to, you didn't need taxes, all this case, so I didn't just say you made the amount of money and then you're good. So if they bought then and they think the process is not the same now. So what do you know? No, I just know that I went to a bank and I told them I made $100,000 and I got pre-approved. And all of that was great. I wish it was like that now, but it's a little different. We like to explain to you how it is now, and you explain the process. Or if they tell you no, then perfect. You have 2-3 minutes where I can explain the process. So you're always gonna end up explaining the process regardless, right? Always. Whether they know or they don't know, you're gonna explain the process A to Z. Then you tell them, okay, the first process is the first one. We have usually we get pre-approved. Once we're already pre-approved, we look for a property. Once we put an offer, we usually close anywhere from 30 to 45 days, correct? Now, we put 3 days. Now, remember, I'm already saying this. We have 3 days to put a deposit. Usually it's anywhere from $5 to $10,000. If I'm telling you it's $5 to $10,000, what are you automatically thinking? Yeah, but what else?
Is it in jeopardy?
Correct.
Is it towards my down payment?
Exactly. Like, can I lose it? Right. So I already know that. Like, you need to know what's already in their head. Like, this is like a sales game. If I'm telling you something, I already know what's in your head because I'm leading. If you follow this system, I'm like leading you into like where I want you to or answer, or I know what you're thinking, right? So if you tell me, I just lost myself.
5,000.
Okay, so if I say, so the first thing we have to do 3-day deposit anywhere from $5 to $10,000. So now there's ways to get the, so those $5, let's say we suppose we put $10,000 and the lender told you it was $20. And the day of closing, all you gotta have to do is just come with the extra $10,000. I already answered one of your questions, without you answering. Without you asking, right? So I want to answer every question without you even asking. I already know the question you have to do, right? And then we have an inspection period. Right now, since the market is so hot, I put only 3 days on inspection period because the less days in inspection period that we put, the better our offer looks. Okay, so usually once our offer gets today, then the next day we have an inspector there, and the same day we get a report. So we have 2 days to negotiate. That's more than enough time, right? Let's just say we do an inspection period, and something's like the AC is messed up or something like that. We have 2 options. Either we try to negotiate with the clients, with the seller, or we back out, right? If we can't come to an agreement, we back out, and guess what? We get our money back from escrow. So I'm already answering another question that you had. Okay, what happens to my escrow? I'm already asking one more question. Then, let's just suppose we do inspection, everything goes good. Every house that is not, I always say this too. Every house that is not new is always going to have cosmetic issues. Even brand new houses have cosmetic issues. Okay, so we look for the four most important thing, which is the roof, the AC, the plumbing, and the electrical. Those are 4 things we always want to make sure that they're in good condition, because the insurance quotes you based on the condition of those 4 things. Then after that, we do an appraisal. So let's just say we offer $340. Okay, the bank comes in, PRMG, and they're like, oh no, the appraisal is only $320. We have there's 3 options there. Either the seller comes down to the $320, which I'm gonna help you negotiate that, or we meet them halfway, or you put in the difference, or we don't come to an agreement, and then we back out, and then you get your money back in deposit. I'm already telling you all the ways that we could get it back money. Okay. Then after that, the title takes care of it. They make sure that there's no liens, no titles, stuff like that. And then the last 2-3 days before closing, we go do a final walkthrough to make sure that the property is in the same condition when we first saw it. And then after that, we just close. And boom, I already explained I'm saying all this over to the phone, by the way. Okay. But let me ask you something, Frank. Now that I have your phone, why don't you meet me in my office So I can explain to you more thoroughly and say exactly what it is, you know, for you to expect and stuff like that before you start looking. You look at a house, because today, if you don't have an pre-approved today and you want to put an offer, we're gonna have to wait 2-3 days. So, right, let's not even waste time. Come to my office and we'll meet, and so you can meet me and I can meet you, and then I can, you know, stuff like that. So you always want to have it in front of you, because I know a lot of agents, they get like a Facebook lead or a Zillow lead, and they're I'm looking, I don't want this house anymore, but I want a homestead house. Oh, perfect, I'm gonna send you a list. That's what every agent does. I'm gonna send you a list without you even meeting. Who's gonna get the client? The person that meets them, or the person that they know you from email? You know, so you always want to get them in front of you. You guys have any questions?
So you don't meet anybody, you know, at the actual.
I mean, if they want to see a property, I'm gonna meet them there regardless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet them regardless. It's just like a rental. I'm not gonna ask you, you have good credit. I'm gonna meet you there, and then from there, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna show you how to get a credit card for free. We'd like me to show you how. Yes, of course. Boom, boom, 500 credit score. Now it's up to you whether you want to work with him or not.
Ay, no entiendo un carajo.
Yeah, hey, how's your credit like?
Es madre mía.
I'm gonna do that over the phone because you're like making him feel bad, right? You're like,
Yeah, if I call you, like, what is your credit? 500? No,
Gente
sorry, I
que
can't.
algo mejor ya no es que como que hablan.
No, you don't want to say that. You want to like help him regardless whether they have 500 credit score. Maybe he has
Saben,
the
saben cómo es,
school
¿no?
payment.
you wanna sound as a solution, no?
Podrían
Not as
Yeah,
somebody
so
that.
that's what happens. A lot of people just want to do it for money. They want like a good qualified buyer or qualified tenant. Then what's the point of being a realtor? You don't need anything outside the box anyway to be a realtor.
They have to go above and beyond.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta read the credit score. That's why it's good knowing what the credits do. I know how to read a credit report. Oh, look, they have a 600 credit score, but they're paying on time all the time. So he's gonna figure out the time. Oh, you know, you're right.
So you can do that on the spot right there?
Yeah, do it on the spot. It's called Credit Karma.
Credit karma.
Credit Karma. And if they don't have it, I'm there and I make sure they put all the information. Any questions? Now, let's just say when you go to the property, okay, this is where you're building more value. So when you go to the property and you're showing the property, before you go show the property, you want to have these for the information, okay? You want to find out the age of the AC, the age of the roof, what type of plumbing. Well, those three things. And then once you go there, you could open the electric panel and see if you have the double tap. A double tap is when you open the electrical panel and you see two wires into one little hole, like merging two, that's a double tap. So you want to disclose that. So let's just say I did my due diligence and then I saw that the roof is you guys know how long what's the age of a shingle roof? Anybody know what shingle roof is? 15? What about a tile roof?
Between 20, it depends because it can be from 25 to 30 years.
Correct. So let's just say is a shingle roof, and they have, I don't know, it was in 2012, so I already know it only has 2 years left. Okay, so as soon as I get to the property, I'm already like telling you exactly, hey, look, just so you know, this roof is 2 years, it only has 2 years left, so when you're purchasing the house, just consider that, you know, you're gonna have to replace the roof. What agent do you know is gonna be this building on? None, because they want to like, I don't want to find out because I want to close the deal.
No, but it will come out in a special report regardless.
But
Yeah,
still, but I'm always, but yeah,
That's correct, yeah.
But that's,
You have to be transparent.
the first time you meet, what about if they go with another roof?
Because remember, the roof might have 2 years of life remaining, but that doesn't mean that the roof is bad.
No, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm disclosing it to them the first time I meet you because I'm already building your trust. I'm building your trust.
I mean, if they fall in love with the
Because
property, they go
what happens if you don't disclose that? Yeah, the inspector will know that, but let's just say you go show the property, you don't tell them, and they go to open house and they go with another roof because they told them that. Or they met somebody like me and I told them. That's almost 2 years client. And then so as I'm going inside, I'm showing them, because the most important thing that you guys is the small thing, is everything is the detail. I feel like everyone here tries to sell an apartment. It's all the way around. You're not selling an apartment, you're selling yourself. You know, like if you have a brand new furnished house, I'm not gonna tell you the wall is gray or the house is black. No, I'm over there. I'm trying to make you laugh. I'm trying to relate. That's my job. If I don't make you laugh by the time you get out of there, then I didn't do my job. That's just me. That's just how I am. Right? Because at the end of the day, you know whether you like the property or not. It's just you have your own taste. Right? So sell yourself first and then disclose those information. So as I'm walking, I already told you how the roof only has 2 years left. As I'm walking, showing you the property, and I open the AC, I already know the AC only has 4 years left. And hey, just so you know, this AC has 4 years left too. So you're gonna have to choose the roof and you're gonna have to choose the AC. It's about $500, about like $15. I'm disclosing information. That, wow, he's actually disclosing information because I want you to feel that I'm telling you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because maybe it's a beautiful house. I'm just disclosing that information. Yeah, so
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. And at the day, if you want to be represented by somebody, you're trying to buy something, you want to tell you exactly what's there. Like you just don't want to make a sale and then they call you like 3 months later, oh, the roof is leaking, and then you feel like you just keep making money and then you're never gonna get a referral from the person. So you always want to work for a long term, unless you're trying to do this for like short term or for like part time, then do that.
Can you repeat again, sir, the 3 things that you say?
The age of the AC, the age of the roof, and then the type of plumbing that I have.
What's the problem with, I'm sorry, what's the problem with double tap electricity?
Because you won't get insured.
Oh.
And what's the other type of plumbing?
There's cast iron pipe, which is like the back. Remember, is when you go deliver them, they're like, oh, cast iron pipe, you're gonna pipe the head of it, you're not the best pipe, but you wanna disclose the cast iron, or you're not gonna kill you either, but you wanna say, hey, don't buy the house, it has cast iron pipe. You don't wanna say like that. The reason why you say cast iron pipe, because eventually you're gonna have to change it. And what happens then? You buy a house, they don't know, because they're not inspectors, they're not real estate agents or anything. You guys don't even know. But let's just say they buy a house today and they decide to do porcelain tiles when they buy a house. Because they have these tiles wood. Guess what? If fire, when the pipes break, you're gonna have to rip the floor off, put the pipe, and then redo the whole thing. So
unless you have access to it. Because like if it has a cross space.
Yeah, but for the most part, you're gonna have to break the whole thing.
Because mine has a cross space, so it was fine.
When
The one that I have, it has a cross space, so if they have to fix it, it doesn't have to go through.
Very few that have those.
Yeah.
Very few that have those. So you always want to disclose that, and that's why I said, hey, look, this one is cast iron pipe. In the future, eventually you have to change this. So I highly suggest that when you purchase a house, you change it before you change the roof, or you change the porcelain, or you change the tile, and I explain to them. Cast iron pipe?
Changing the whole thing approximately.
$4 to $7 depending on the sale.
How do you find out all that information?
I call agent.
Oh.
What is the agent doing now? I mean, lucky for me, I have an inspection company, so I know. Like I'll go there and I'll read the dates, and I wish I had a picture. Which actually I'm gonna do a training with my inspection company. We're actually gonna go to a listing appointment, and we're gonna do an inspection so you know exactly what you look for, what inspection looks for, and then what you should expect to know. Because believe it or not, a client expects you to know these things. They expect you to be an inspector, a lender, a creditor, repairer, and everything. When you go over there and they tell you, hey, what is this cast iron? Or like it happened to me, hey, is this the sewer, or this is the sewer tank? What's that? I don't know. I didn't even know what a sewer tank or I didn't know.
No, it's good, man. You sound more knowledgeable.
Of course. So and the more knowledge you know, the more you explain to them, the more they hate you. Really good. Like, trust me, whenever I get a client, like I explain to them A to Z that I know. I'm just that confident.
So that's an advantage that you have because you know about the site inspection. So you
I know about credit repair. I know how to fix. I'm not gonna fix credit, but I'll tell you what you can do for free. So I already built value for you right there. Hey, look, come on, if your credit messed up, don't go on your credit. I'll tell you what to do for free. So I'm already adding value there. I'm adding value because I know about how the lender works. I know how to negotiate with them, save you money.
about the claims, about the forms.
All around. I'm just saving you money in every single way I can send you money.
How long did it take you actually to master, to feel confident?
I'm still learning.
You're still learning, so it's like an ongoing process.
So every day I learn something new. Every day.
Every day you have to practice. You don't practice the role play. I think it's important.
So, Marvin, this inspection is typically a 4-point inspection. Is that what it's called?
4 point is the most important. Is the most important part of the inspection. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a 4 point exactly, which is the AC, the plumbing,
The
the
roof.
roof, and the
So that's typically the type of inspection they do. So when you speak to a buyer, the inspection really is a 4-point inspection.
No, it's actually, it's
No,
two inspections in one.
yeah, 3%.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
mitigation, the 4 point, and the actual one.
Report, yeah. But I explain the 4 point because I make them focus on the 4 point because everything else is gonna have a mitigation. Appliance they can buy, a wall on the, a hole on the wall, those are the things that are not me.
¿Qué hacen en el caso que el listing agent o el vendedor no quiera negociar nada de inspección?
Yo no sé,
¿Ah?
yo no sé. No, bueno, si no puedes negociar, mira, siempre, ok, lo más importante es hacer mejor amigo del listing. Eso es lo más importante.
Do you think that works?
I know that works.
Become valid.
I know, the last thing that you want to do is have the other side as your enemy, because you're not gonna get nowhere. Because sometimes people just close down because of their ego. They don't even see it as a
But
business
sometimes
anymore.
not on the paper that we are.
Yeah, but you have higher chances of getting it. And then everything's about negotiating. Look, I'll tell you a story. She was there with me. I have a client, we offered 365. Well, yeah, the house was listed at 365. My client told me, hey, look, I will pay 350 for the house like I want. I'll pay 360, I'll pay 360. Okay, so I'm like, look, if you want to pay 360, there's offer on 340 because first time I called, there was no offers. So the property been in the market for 35 days. So hey, you guys have any offers? Not in the end, we have verbal offers. Like, look, they don't have an offer right now, so let's just shoot low. I shot 340. Okay, they come to me, they're like, hey, no, it's too low, it's that. Knowing my client is willing to pay 360. I knew this already. He told me, right? So then I was with her and I was with Monique. And then I'm like, hey, look, my client's gonna pay 360. And I even told my client, let me handle this. They're like, no, just pay, I don't want to lose the house. I'm like, no, let me handle it. So I call them, like, hey, look, my client can't pay 360, they can only pay 340. Trust me, like, I'm trying to do everything to make this work. I've busted my ass, I've showed them like 30 houses. I want to close this deal. You know, I want to close this yesterday, right? And then like, but you know, if it can't happen, just let me know. Unfortunately, I'm going to send you a release cancellation. But my clients really like it, but it just the numbers don't make sense for them. They just can't. Oh no, send me a release cancellation. It didn't work. And then I'm like, all right, don't worry. It was around 12. I'm like, all right, don't worry. My client got out of 5. I haven't got signed. You know, I'll send you a release cancellation then. Hang up. I was there that day. So we go have coffee. We're there eating, and then like 2 hours later, send me the new addendum with new sales. So I call my client. I'm like, hey, I couldn't get it for 360, but I got it for 340. That's going above and beyond. If another agent would have just like been like 360, we're going to go 360.
You're saving money.
Saving money.
Wow, that's amazing.
Any other agent would have been like, I already know they want 360. Oh, you know, I did it with her. Her husband's my brother, by the way, so everybody make sure you see your face, please. So her husband too was actually one where I actually helped him buy a lot, and then he was with his dad to the partner up. They were willing to pay the full asking price, and I ended up negotiating like $30 too. And knowing that they were willing to pay the 365, I'm like, let me handle it. And they were like, no, don't make me lose a lot. I'm like, let me handle it. Let me do my job.
What would you have done if that wasn't the case, if they still wanted the cancellation?
Then I would have like, hey, look, my client's winning. I spoke to my client, I convinced them, they're willing to do a 360. Let's just move forward.
No, that would be the last resort.
Hey, this is the poker. You gotta put your poker face.
Go back to 360.
Who's gonna be the good negotiator? Trust me, it's gonna be me. I'm really good at negotiating.
That's a good strategy, money, because you're making like.
Yeah, but remember, I'm not coming at you like, hey, no, it's 240 nothing. Man, you know what, man, I worked my ass off doing this. Like,
You gotta make it seem like.
I'm trying. Like, I'm not like, hey, look, my client's 240. Where they make it, because there's agents that I know, like, hey, 240 or not. And they're gonna be like, oh,
That sounds rude.
Send me cancellation.
Yeah,
Maybe
you're
the
like,
client was 240, but somebody's ego is like, how do you want to work with an agent?
But let me ask you a question. Why are you guys talking about cancellation letter when you just negotiated the price? That's after appraisal or
That's after appraisal. After appraisal. The appraisal came on $20 less. Yeah, and then she was like, no, we're not. I already spoke to my client, and I spoke to mine. One of them wants, I was playing back to the top. One of them really wants it, but you know, the husband, he's good at finance. He's like, does that make sense for him? I get it, trust me, but you know, you worked hard for it, I worked hard for it. I guess I'm not saying you can't say, I'm so sorry. Hopefully we can work in the future together. Yeah, and we're best friends.
I have one right now in Royal Oak that we listed for 678. But the comes in the area is gonna come closer to it. But I'm preparing already that by your agent, and I'm like, listen, if that price of funds that lower, what are you trying to willing to do? Because my client is not willing to go low, so.
You always
we
wanna,
gotta
like,
make sure
yeah,
that we
always,
close the deal.
Yes.
remember, you always, and look, this is a trick too. This saves you too. This is how you know I'm contacting a new agent, a rookie agent, okay? Whenever I give you a call, let's just say, and then let's just say you're the agent and you listed at 380, right? And then I call you, I'm like, hey, Hugo, let me ask you something. I was looking at the comparable. I haven't run no comparables. I haven't even gone to the house yet. I was looking at the house. I'm running my comparables. How did you get to the 380? And then depending on how they answer to me, I already know if they're confident or not. I mean, no. And then boom, they already start telling me. Trust me, there's a lot about negotiating. And I have somebody that's friend. Oh, look, I have this comparable here. So today, this one 382. This is gonna appraise on us. I'm not even gonna look. I already know like he's confident. But when you have somebody that they're like, I think this house so much compared to this one, you're like, the house is not gonna appraise. And look, you and I both know it's not gonna appraise. Like, how will it go down?
But if I give you specifics, then you know.
And then you're gonna tell me, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, look, I think the person is 6. All right, I'm gonna this. Yeah, I'm already negotiating now, you know?
I negotiated one like that last night. The agent put the property at 350. No appraisal on payment. So, but I did the count and everything in the area has up for 325 or 320. The property actually is not as great as the one that it has over 325. So when I called him and I asked him, I said, so let me ask you a question. What are you afraid of that you put on appraisal on payment? So you know that the property is gonna come back lower. He said, no, not really, that's the only, but you saw the comparable, and you saw that everything that they had sold, they sold for less than what you priced. So I have a client who's willing to give you 330, but with a price of payment.
Correct.
But if you don't have nothing to worry about, that's what will happen. At 10:30, I'm not gonna say, you got it.
No, of course, yeah, you always wanna.
But you gotta make sure that you question them. Not because you're on the buyer side, you gotta feel uncomfortable or challenge that agent, because somebody else is gonna come and do it to you, You just gotta have basis of what you're gonna challenge them, so that way they know that you know your business.
Okay. Marvin, you mentioned that you asked the listing agent how many offers they have. Do they have to disclose that to you?
They don't have to, but I want to know what offer they have, if you have any offers.
Okay.
Not like what offer they have.
Well, do you have any offers?
Yeah, you can say yes or no.
Yeah, they'll tell you yes or no.
They will tell you yes or no.
For the most part,
A lot of times they're gonna tell you yes.
yeah, for the most part they'll tell you yes, but then like I said, I don't know, I just know.
Okay.
They're always gonna tell you yes, because they wanna let you know.
Ah, yeah.
Who you offer, like, otherwise, yeah.
But either way, I still gonna answer the question, like, how did you get the number? I mean, right now, like if I see a whole line of 10 people, I'm not calling you asking, hey, we better put $10 over there.
Yeah.
Don't even bother negotiating here. Like you just know when to do it and when not to.
When you see this is one of 10 people, you're not gonna get a
Or like showing that you cannot go to negotiate. So now I'm telling my client, hey, we gotta go at least 10 feet over. Do the inspection, 20 days loan commitment, we're going in hard. We're going in hard. You gotta go make sure we get this offer accepted. Now, a lot of people know this too, like people put like a 7-10 day inspection period. So if you see we're offering the same thing, and I'm offering you 3 days, 20 day loan commitment, we're gonna go with it. You know what I mean?
But sometimes you gotta be careful with the inspection too, because if you don't find an inspector.
Oh, I know,
I
especially
know
on
you
the
guys.
next day.
I know you, but if you.
No, I'll tell you what I feel.
You have those 5
Well,
days.
we have a lot of inspectors that we usually available next day. We provide the report the next day, the same day. You have 2 days to negotiate. You have more than enough time.
So after you offer gets accepted, escrow letter, and then the next day the inspection.
The next day, the
The inspection right away.
next day. There's no.
So
And
it gives
I
you
put it there that I have to have access to for inspection the next day, 23 days. I have to have access.
¿Con cuántas compañías de inspección tú trabajas?
Yo tengo una
This
sala.
guy is own, this the owner.
That's why you can put it there.
No.
No, I put two because
But you
I
know.
just I just got the offer last night and I go today. I need an inspection, but okay,
No,
I got it for tomorrow.
How many guys do you have working for you? Okay,
Just make sure you contact him.
inspection.
And we're the best. Trust me.
Do we have a list of vendors?
We do.
Available to us?
We do. I think you have it in LR Connect.
Oh, it is.
I gotta have my answer.
Yeah, but number one is.
Oh, I like that. Oh, you keep it?
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
I use that one.
Well, use this guy.
I'm sorry.
Use the bank.
I'm
Use Marvin, he's in the family. Why would you go somewhere?
And you would say to the I mean, your law is where you get like, not, married to nobody.
And I'm your closing lady.
Oh, she is definitely
You
closing.
need to close this deal. You close
Without her?
it, I'm the nerd.
Without her, she is good. She makes everyone feel comfortable. That's what I like. Any other questions before I go? Nobody? Everybody's pro? The Russian? Janet? I'm gonna call you one of these days. Watch, I'm gonna call you. I wanna see how good you're paying attention. Watch. I'm gonna call everybody. I need everyone put the phone number and their names and I'll call every one of these days. Just to see how they're doing. So everybody's good?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, thank you for coming. Hope you guys got some good information.
Okay. Yeah.